All right, we got another great episode for you guys this week. I believe he's my first five-star recruit I've had on the show, so I appreciate you coming on. We got Brandon McCoy. He is from
Yes,
St. John Bosco High School, Arizona Unity for the EYBL. Appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule, man. How you doing?
of course, of course. I'm glad to be on here, but I'm good. I'm good.
Good, good. Well, you came off a stellar weekend, a lot of noise, which we're going to get into. But I do first want to talk about being a freshman, St. John Bosco. You guys came up short, and I'm sure the end goal. I know you had two losses against. Um, I have it up here. I totally forgot. I know one's Harvard Westlake, and
And
the other is Centennial. Yeah. Um, Even coming off the bench, though, I know you probably didn't have the role I guess you necessarily wanted. But what was it like for you, and how do you feel you did this season with the guys you had?
really, I was just all about defense. I
Yeah.
know defense is minutes, so that was my main thing. And I didn't really trip about starting. I came in late and coming off an injury, so I was like, as long as I get some PT and show what I can do.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys are in one of the craziest, most competitive conferences I think I've seen in a while. I had Nick Hemenia on from Westlake last week,
Okay.
and the guys he had on his team with Trent and Brady and a whole lot of other guys, that's just a bunch of dogs on that team.
Yeah.
For you though, was there any point, going up against, those last two games, Centennial and Harvard Westlake, was there any sort of intimidation factor for you that like maybe not necessarily scared, but just like these guys are a lot bigger, a lot older? Like, was there any sort of sense of fear you had going against those guys?
No, not at all. I mean, everybody's human, like yeah, everybody's human like me. So no, I'm not really scared. Obviously, like, not I wouldn't say nervous, but I'm like only freshman playing, a big stage. So wasn't
Hmm.
like scared of the people I was playing, just the stage was kind of big.
Yeah, definitely. What were some of the things you focused on most throughout the year? I tried finding as much film on YouTube as I can from you. And like you talked about, there was a lot of defense that I
Yeah.
saw from you guarding mostly the best guard on their team, it seemed like from the games I saw. But what were some things that you mainly focused on coming off that injury to help at least make it like when you look back at it, a good freshman season for you?
To be honest, trying to score like without the ball in my hands 24/7, like getting like put
Mm,
back X and like not taking minute dribbles to get shots off since I wasn't the first option.
yeah, definitely. You played also, talk about Bosco. You guys finished 26-7 throughout the year, one of the top in your league. You played on a loaded team. Elzy is on your team too, right?
Yeah.
And he's a freshman too, right?
Oh, sorry.
Sophomore, still terrifying future. I would not want to go up against you and him for the next couple of years. Um, what are some lessons you learned from, the veterans, the upperclassmen on your team, even the coaches and what are some messages they told you that, kind of helped you get through that injury to get your confidence back and play really well?
I mean, at the end of the day, it's just basketball, but like just to stay focused, like really dialed in, doing all my training, eating right, and just the little things that will help me play better.
You're from Originally you're from Sacramento, right?
No,
Or where are you from?
I'm from
Oakland.
Oakland.
Sorry,
Yeah.
yeah. NorCal. It's hella
Yeah.
confusing for me. But um what made you guys move down to more of that SoCal area for you to go to Bosco?
Like just the opportunities SoCal has, like meeting new people, the training out here, and of
Hmm.
course, Bosco was the main option. But like just basketball here is really competitive. I feel like it's more better than NorCal in terms of competition. Like I came out
Hmm.
here against top teams in the country, as opposed to playing against like not as good teams. So
Yeah.
yeah.
You've been generating a lot of noise these past couple of months, specifically, these last couple of weeks, which we'll talk about. But you moved from Team Why Not to AZ Unity, which that was when I kind of was introduced to you, was after that happened. Before we get into what it's been like, I know this was your first session, so there's not a lot to go back off besides this past week. But my one question for you here is, what made you move from Team Why Not to AZ Unity?
Just felt like it was a better opportunity. That's pretty much it. There's no hate against why not. No
Yeah.
like no bad blood or anything. I just felt like it was a better opportunity.
I'm sure beating them this weekend was kind of fun though, right? Especially in the fashion y'all did it in.
Yeah.
Um, that was I was there for the entire game. I met up with my guy Pierre there. He knew everybody that was on the sidelines. It seemed like everyone from Arizona popped out for that one. Um, even though this being your first session, what has been, playing in this E16, being able, I know you played against Kai and Anthony, which I got a funny story to get into too about that. Um, what has the E16 been like for you after playing against some of the top talent, not just in your grade, but also in the country as well?
I mean, still hard. EYBL is a hard circuit. Like, there's many good kids around the world, and the class of 2025 is pretty stacked.
Yeah.
So it's a little easier than playing against a bunch of seniors, but it's still hard and all.
What is a what's it been like too, being this new team, gelling with the guys? I don't know the practice regimens for y'all, but I know some like yourself and a couple of others, New Mexico, Arizona, like California, you guys are kind of all spread out in different areas. What's the practice regimen like, and how quickly were you guys able to gel to go 3-0 in your first weekend?
I mean, we don't like since it's AAU, we don't get a lot of practices in, but we
Right.
get a couple. But I mean, I fit in perfectly. I've known Elijah and Cam for a good minute now, so they actually recruited me at USA camp, so I've known them. But I mean, we got together perfectly. It's like no hate, nobody had like a problem with me like joining, so it was
Right.
all yeah.
What was USA camp like? We can talk about too. For a lot of people that might not know, you just got ranked 20th in the
Yeah.
ESPN top 25 in the country, which is, I mean, huge. I sometimes don't like, excuse me, to, I guess, overhype freshmen because they still have so much growth to get in, through their entire high school. Things change, injuries happen, but the way I've seen you play these last 2 weeks, I've been able to come watch you in person. There's no doubt in my mind why you're ranked in the top 25 for your class already, man. Like it's truly, you got more than dog to him. We can cuss on here sometimes. You got some shit to you that you play with that definitely makes you stand out compared to the rest. But coming in at 20th, was it humbling for you to see that? Does it make you want to work to get into that top five? I'm sure you've even seen. I even said I think you're gonna be top five by the like end all be all when you're a senior, and it's all said and done. You're gonna be top five. But what was it like for you seeing that ESPN top 25 ranking, and what was it like also at the Colorado Springs, the USA basketball camp?
So when I seen I was ranked, I was just like just happy to be on there. Like I
Right.
played half the high school season, so I didn't know if I was gonna be on there, but just blessed to be on there. But a lot of work to do. I feel like I could be higher, but you know, rankings are rankings. But I just got to prove myself. And like USA basketball is hard. It's a lot of good kids out there, a lot of good kids out there, and like I just got to prove like everybody there can go get a bucket. So I just got to prove I'm really good at defense and just playing with like through an offense and stuff. So yeah.
Does the altitude affect that much for you guys? I know you're younger, so it's probably not as hard as like, being in Denver. Well, I know I was watching that Suns Nuggets game, and some of these guys like gas 5 minutes in. But does that do play a factor, especially how hard you guys are going probably in these camps?
The one I went to was in Houston because I went to the one,
Oh,
but I was hurt. But from the what I seen, kids were like passing out and stuff. So it definitely affects it. Yeah.
you talked about Elijah and Cam, who are two highly touted kids out here, recruited you to come play for your AZ Unity. It's hilarious to me that there's high school recruiting going on. I get it for club ball, but like, with other schools, but what was their pitch to you of why to come play with them?
I mean, we're already cool, so it was like obviously like we're like, hey, you want to go play with your friends and stuff. But the fact like we'd be a good trio, like we're proving
Yeah.
ourselves now, like we could really be the best team in E16.
Yeah. And I definitely think, I know you guys came off a loss
Yeah.
in that championship, but I looked at the schedule. It didn't count towards y'all's record, which was
I,
very weird.
yeah, I still don't really understand it, but
Um, from the trainers you've worked with and, even teammates maybe and coaches you've had and have now, who are some guys that they say they remind you of, and like, or aspects or little things you do in games that they say you play like X?
I mainly get DeJounte Murray. That's the main
Mm,
one. I hear that from pretty much everybody. Yeah.
okay. What about then DeJounte's game for you sticks out that maybe you see in yourself?
His defense and like how long his arms are and like the steals he get, like kind of similar to how I get mine. And he's
Yeah.
also too, so
Yeah, absolutely. Um, let's get into this past weekend. I got a bunch of stuff I want to cover with you. So when I saw the schedule, I saw y'all playing Team Mello. I said, it's an hour drive for me at that early in the morning, but I'm like, it's worth it to go see this loaded team play against Mello Sun. I got there at halftime. Y'all
oh
were up 20.
yeah. Yeah.
And I was like, what the heck? I ran over there, sat down, and Carmelo Anthony was sitting right in front of me.
Mhm.
There's a specific move from you. You did your little jab step,
Into the
juked
three.
your defender, yeah, and you did a step back three. I
Yeah.
said, I literally said out loud, I'm like, God damn, Brandon. And Mello turned back and said, who's that kid? I'm like, that's Brandon McCoy. He goes to St. John Bosco. And he's like, oh, yeah, I know who that is. I'm like, oh, okay. So you got an
Yeah.
NBA recognition. I don't know how that makes you feel. Um,
It's good, but I've actually met him before. I met him in seventh grade when I played against his middle school team, the Black Ops.
oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I played in front of him before. I met
Okay.
him.
That's probably why he remembers your name. But that game specifically, y'all kind of did not let up at all. And your defense is one of the things, that stuck out to me, but also your shot ability, like your creation too. You love that mid-range jumper a
Yeah.
lot, it seems like, and you're able to get past your defenders pretty quickly with that, that juke jab step or whatever you call it, that separates you from the defender. That game specifically, what kind of mode were y'all in? Because you guys just kind of took over, it seemed like, from the jump and didn't let up.
Yeah, just kill mode. Trying to beat everybody, take everybody's heads off. So that's the main goal.
Um, being in that environment too, a lot of people around, I'm sure a lot of people are trying to talk to you, get in your head. I'm sure. And it seems like you talk a lot of trash too. I see you talking a lot. I saw you got a tech against Why Not, which I was
Yeah.
hella confused about because um you had to have dunked it or like thought you got an and one and you screamed something out, you got a tech. But um who did you guys play on Friday too?
We played CP3.
Okay, so you went against all the Jordan teams pretty much with Melo, CP3, and Why Not.
Yeah,
Going 3-0 in that style you guys did, winning buzzer beater and double digit wins, I believe too. I don't know, I forget the final score of the CP3 game. Was that the mission all along, or what was kind of the mission from the coaching staff and your guys? At the end of the weekend, you guys say this is a good first session for us.
I mean, since EYBL, like the rankings are about points, was just beat teams by a lot. So that
Yeah,
was the main goal because the point differential can really mess you up when it gets to like peak.
P-Sham.
Yeah. So just beat teams by a lot. And then we kind of needed that why not game, a close game. So not every like beat was bad. So we know how to play when it gets like close and like hard as a
Mm-hmm.
team.
Let's dive right into that game. It
Mm.
was tight from the jump. You guys were
Yeah.
pretty much going bucket for bucket. I know the
Mm.
House Twins, that both came off the bench. They also played heavy minutes too. It
Yeah.
seemed like, they played most of the first half,
Mm.
excuse me, and then they played most of the second half as well. Um, it was, I think, 42-41, or it was something like that in the first half. Having that tight game, not just against the Housens, but against Tay and Giovanni as well, who I know are great players out of SoCal as well. Um, Going into that game, what were kind of the feels you were getting from them? What was kind of the vibe you guys had? Just take us through that game before we get into everything else.
Well, we know they wanted to beat us so bad. Like team was very personal. So we knew like they were gonna come at us. So we just had to like maintain show that we were a better team than them, which they are a good team though.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. There's definitely no doubt. You guys, and I would say the Night Riders kind of separated themselves, it feels like, from the rest of the pack. I
It's a good.
know Northwest Rotary is good. Every team is good in the EYBL. Division One talents on every single team, it seems like. But there's a specific play for this game too. You grown man to rebound like I've never seen a freshman do before. You like everyone was fighting for it, and you come out of nowhere and like grab it with one arm, push the pace up. I think he took a pull-up three immediately. It was off right. Someone grabbed the offensive board. They tried shooting it. They missed. You grabbed it again, took it back out to the three-point line, shot it, and made it. And Cam was hyped up. You were hyped up. And then you got that and one foul. You guys are throwing lobs and stuff. But that type of style you play, how would you describe it to people? Because of course, it's Division One talent because of the offers you're getting and stuff. But the style of play you have, how would you describe it?
I guess heartless, just don't give up. That's the only thing I really think of.
Yeah. Talk to me through though, you played Night Riders, and when I saw that, I wanted to watch it immediately, and I slept in and missed it. Like I had no clue it was at 9:30 in the morning because they posted it and then didn't show the times, which was kind of weird. Talk to me through though on that Sunday, and this past weekend. What was it like for you, and what were some things you'll take away, some aspects you'll take away from this?
Well, obviously everybody's good. Every team is good. But like personally, I just gotta work on probably just like my shot and time management and taking the right shot at the right time and not forcing anything. But like as a team, you gotta play more team defense for sure. Talking more on offense and like helping. I'm talking more on defense, like helping each other out, getting through screens and just calling out switches on time and just stuff like that.
As a lead guard too, do you feel a sense of responsibility that like you got to maintain the offense too when it's getting a little wild? You guys are still also extremely young, but I know there's a sense of responsibility with being in this league, being on teams like this. So do you feel a sense of responsibility to make sure the offense is running properly in the way that it can, succeed to the best of its abilities?
Yeah, of course, like that's the main job as a point guard, and that's what coach expects from me. So definitely.
When you saw that Knight Riders matchup, what was that feeling? Were you just like, shit, like we gotta play again? Because I know, who's your big man again? Is it Maper or what's his name?
We have a pair and Jam Pitt. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, and I forget how tall they are. Maker is huge. He's like six. He's like 6'10". He's big.
No, he's like 7'1", I think, like 7 foot.
Is he 7'1"? Oh my gosh. Going up against a guy like Cam and his brother too, and I know that whole E16 team. It's not just them. The rest of the guys are good too. What were some things you took away from that? Some lessons you're going to learn? You talk about, I know, communication on both ends of the floor. I know you guys didn't get the win like you probably hoped, but being able to play against a guy that's highly touted and sought after by all these colleges, what was it like for you and the rest of the guys?
I mean, that was my first time playing the Twins, so I knew how good they were from the jump.
Right.
But like, so that's a really good team. Like, we had a good game plan, but really talented team, so we couldn't get them. But I hope we play them again in Peace Jam.
Yeah, that will be one I definitely have to watch because I'm pissed I didn't get to watch this. And I heard a lot of good things. I was at a workout with Pierre and Corey Kispert, and there's an assistant, I totally forget his name, on Unity that was there. And I asked how y'all play, and he said Brandon had 29. I'm like, what? And he's like, yeah. He's like, and then I saw all the offers come in, and I'm like, this guy must have put on a show in that game. There is that dunk you posted too.
Yeah.
You kind of have like this like scary demeanor to you. Like when you dunked it, you just looked at him and walked away. There's no like flexing or anything.
Yeah.
What was that about?
I mean, he jumped. I didn't expect him to jump for real. So I was like, surprised you even did that, to be honest.
Speaking of that performance, though, after the 29-point performance on Sunday, you were offered by a lot of schools. I know you had, we talked before, those came throughout the entire weekend. You just posted it before. But even as of today, ASU, Oregon, Louisville, UW, UCLA, Cal, I'm sure a lot of others are interested. After getting this recognition so quickly after one weekend, how does that make you feel? What was it like getting these offers in, and kind of tell me your all around thoughts about where you can go next from here?
Obviously like blessed and honored to like have the opportunity for coaches to be like, wow, this kid's good, and give me a scholarship. But definitely just got to get better. That's the main thing. Like, I know people are gonna start coming from my head now because I have like these big time offers. So I definitely just got to get better.
Yeah, absolutely. After that, I even saw you play last weekend too against Rotary Rebels. I think they were then.
Yeah.
A lot of schools were in attendance for that too.
Mhm.
Who was ASU the first school to reach out to you, or who was the first school to reach out to you like officially?
ASU.
Okay. What was it like? I know you're a freshman too, which is crazy to think that there's periods like this that freshmen can get it. But, after getting that call and getting off it, what were you feeling like in that moment?
Just happy. Like really, really happy.
Well, I appreciate you coming on, man. I won't take up much to your time anymore. What can people, scouts, recruiters expect to see from you the rest of the summer in the EYBL sessions?
A lot of bit of everything. A lot of bit of everything. Defense, handling, passing, scoring, all of that.
Is there something you've worked on specifically since your injury that you've even seen elevate, to the next level for you?
Dribble pull-ups for sure. Like,
yeah. Well, I appreciate you coming on, man. Last question as always, and I'll ask you an NBA one too, but usually how we end it, favorite on-court shoe. I saw you rocking these Kobe's. Never seen the brown colorway before. They're pretty cold.
Yeah,
what's been the go-to shoes for you? What was it, during your school season, and what is it now?
During my school season, it was probably these all black Kobe ADs I had, like all black. Yeah.
You're not going with the 5s or the 6s or the 4s like everybody else.
I gotta be a little different. Yeah. So that was my go-to during season, and probably AU. Well, all I've worn with those Kobe's, but probably AU is probably my GTs, my GT Cut ones.
Did you see the Travis Scott GT cuts that PJ Tucker wore?
No, I did not. Nah.
Oh, hold on. These things, I think they're on BR Kicks. I've never seen a Travis Scott like this before, or a GT cut. Come on, where are they? Here they are. Where's the camera?
Yeah, those are hard. I'm not gonna lie, those are hard.
I was like, I've never tried on a pair of GT cuts before. Every single person I've had on has said the GT cuts are the go-to shoe. What makes those for you one of the go-tos?
Just comfortable, and they look like really nice. But definitely they're really, really comfortable.
Yeah. My last question for you in the NBA playoffs. I know you're in SoCal now, so you might be a Laker fan or a Warrior fan. Warrior fan?
Definitely a Warrior fan.
Okay. Who do you think's winning this finals? It's been a little crazy. I think I saw something that said every seed is represented in this semifinal, like 1 through 8. Any teams that stick out to you that you think got a good chance of winning?
Even though we lost first game, the Warriors. I got it.
Well, I appreciate you coming on, Brandon, and taking some time out of your night. Anything to shout out before we get out of here?
Shout out my parents, my trainers, Coach Dunn. That's about it. Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you coming on, man. Wish you nothing but the best of luck this summer. Hope to see you. I'm sure you guys are going to play in Section 7 this summer. So I'll definitely catch you out there. But wish you nothing but the best with the EYBL guys, and hope to hear from you soon.
Thank you.